So if you can see my screen, can you read for me the land uses that we have from here up to the last? Land uses.
Yeah, the land.
The one I've written here.
We have a mast.
A mast.
We have crop ground. We have settlement.
Yes, good.
We have a factory.
Yes, good.
Tree planting.
Good.
Brick making.
Good.
Road.
Good.
Fishing.
Good.
Washing the
Good.
market.
And the market. These are the common ones around the Mbuya Hill. What about the different nature of the reef?
We have slopes. We also have gentle slopes.
Good.
These steep slopes that have peaked.
Good.
Lowland areas.
Good.
Broad valleys. And a basin.
And the basin, isn't it? Now, I want you now to connect for me what can be on the hilltop. What land use that can be connected, influenced, enabled, which other word, encouraged, promoted in the hilltops.
The hilltops. Teacher, the hilltops.
Yes.
They are the contract the mast.
The mast, good. Then it's steep slopes. Let me put here another one called stone quarrying. Stone what? Stone quarrying.
Stone quarry.
So steep slopes.
Teacher, on the steep slopes there is tree planting.
There is tree planting. Good. Gentle slopes. You see how you are becoming bright.
Roads, construction.
Roads. What else?
Gentle slopes, we can construct there. Even the market.
Even the market. Let's go to now lowland areas.
The lowland areas, you can do their fishing.
Fishing, good.
And also
lowland areas, okay, some fishing in the swamps, isn't it?
Yes.
Broad valleys.
The broad valleys. Teacher, broad valleys. Teacher, first tell me what are the broad valleys?
Okay, it can be a lowland area, but it can be broad valley. For example, now, like areas where you see permanent swamps are broad valleys. Like where you see in Kampala areas where you see flooding almost whenever it rains, that is a broad valley.
Okay.
Okay. Still lowland areas can be broad what? Broad valleys, isn't it? So okay. What about a basin? Which land use can be found in the basin?
Teacher, fishing.
Fishing. What else? Let me see now where your reasoning stops. What else? Fishing and what?
Teacher.
Pass that one. I give you a prize right now. I'm going to give you data. Water truck?
I'm coming. Teacher.
Water transport. Yeah, you are coming from where? From the kitchen. Okay, now.
Water transport.
I'm the one who said it. Now,
Mm.
so here we had to connect only this. A relationship, just a connection. Eh? Don't think that is very hard. A connection. How do we do it? You say the presence of, you have to put the local name to that feature, the first physical feature. The presence of Mbuya steep slopes. Then you add what we call connecting phrases, describing phrases, relationship phrases, any word you can call them. And these phrases, we have said, we have what we call has encouraged, enabled, favored, facilitated, influenced. But if the question was about describe the influence, of relief on land use, don't repeat the word influence, then it won't work. You don't repeat the word influence, but you bring other influencing terms or phrases. But if they didn't put influence, they just said that describe the relationship between, you can use the word influence. Like this and this influenced this. But in other words, avoid the word influence, because I know you students, when you are told you will mess up, use words like encouraged, use words like favored, use words like promoted, use words like enabled. Are we together? So has enabled what? Tell us. Gentle slopes, enabled. You may not even use the word has, just gentle slopes. Bugorobi gentle slopes, enabled settlement. For example, Bugorobi flats, due to what? Due to is a construction. Are we together? Now, are we together? Are you there, Rose? Rosetti, are you there? Can you hear me?
Teacher, I'm there.
Now, many students have more points on gentle slopes. Have more points on what? On gentle slopes. On such a question, they are going to say the gentle slopes favored transport. The gentle slopes favored brick making. The gentle slopes favored crop growing. The gentle slopes favored stone quarry. So they will concentrate more on this one, which is juicy. Gentle slopes, the part of the relief that is juicy, gentle slopes, and they avoid talking about other types of relief, other elements of relief. Therefore, we shall say, if you give at least 1 point of gentle slopes, we shall consider that one. Others, we shall consider them as repetition. Meaning that you have to balance the geography in such a question and give at least 1 on hilltop, 1 on steep slopes, 1 on lowlands, 1 on valleys, 1 on basins. Gentle slopes, we can allow maybe an extreme of 2 points because of its being juicy in that element of relief. But you have to balance all the different categories of relief. Are we together? All your other friends took off. I think network. It wasn't good today for them, isn't it?
Yeah, the network is a big problem.
So let's go to this question 2. Are you seeing it? What does it say?
For a field around for 5 long.
Your network is also poor. I can't hear you. Let me read for you.
Teacher, it says
Let me read for you. I'm not getting you. It says, for a fieldwork you carried out around your school within a radius of 5 kilometers, state the topic of study. Number numero 2, outline objectives of study. Number numero part B, draw annotated sketch map of the area around your school and show position of the school, relief features around, and land use types. C. Describe the impact of land use types on the physical environment around your school. And then D. What recommendations did you make on your field work? Now, since the field work around the school is not recognized, it is not allowed, we are going to remove school and put family or home. For any field work ever carried out to around your home, we remove school and we put home. Because the field work around the school is not recognized. We removed it. I just brought it here for you to learn. But in UNEB it is not, because of halo effect, that when they are marking, some examiners will give more marks to schools they know. That's why it was removed, and the name of the school is not mentioned anywhere. And then also the name of the teacher is also not mentioned anywhere in the exam. Are we together? Are you following? So to such a question,
Yes, teacher.
to such a question, of course, state the topic of study will say the growth and development of, what's the name of your papa or guardian? Mr. So and so, Mr. Who? Mr. Museveni. Okay.
Of Mr. Mwanji.
Mr. Mwanje. The growth and development of Mr. Mwanje. Mr. Mwanje's home or Mr. Mwanje's residence. Showing, not showing, that is a sketch map. The growth and development of Mr. Mwanje's residence located in Kasokoso, Kampala district. So that will be your topic. It should have a geographical relationship, that is the growth and development. Or if you want, you will say the relationship between the reef, relationship between the physical and man-made features around Mr. Mwanje's residence in Kasokoso, Kampala district. So after giving that, that is the topic that we want here. Objectives: to find out the geographical location of Mr. Mwanje's residence. Number 2, to find out the historical background of Mr. Mwanje's residence. Number 3, to find out the factors that led to the construction of Mr. Mwanje's residence. Then you can also say to find out the problems faced by the people around Mr. Mwanje's residence. Then you can say to find out the physical features around Mr. Mwanje's residence. Then to find out land use activities carried out around Mr. Mwanje's residence. Then to find out the problems faced by the people around Mr. Mwanje's residence. To find out the solutions faced by the people around, the solution to the problems faced by the people around Mr. Mwanje's residence, and then to find out the future prospects of Mr. Mwanje's residence. Then after that, we come to the annotated sketch map. This question came last year in UNEB, whereby the students thought that whenever they use the word annotated, you draw a panorama because of annotated panoramic view. Annotated simply is just draw features in outline. Draw features in what? In just outline. Meaning that therefore, a sketch map remains a sketch map. Maybe if they say annotated sketch. Rose, if they say annotated sketch, what do you do? Annotated sketch. Annotated sketch. What do you draw? Are you there, Rose? Yes? Rose? If they require you to draw annotated sketch, what do you draw? You draw a panorama. You draw a panorama. That is annotated sketch. But if they say annotated sketch map, it remains a sketch map. So you go and draw a boundary, then you put the compass, then you show the main road of that area. And on that main road, you show with arrows where the residence of Mr. Mwanje is located. Then from there, you put the relief features. Those are the hills around, the lowland, the valleys, the swamps, the stream, Omwala, especially where there is a swamp, there is a stream, you put there. Those are leaf features. A forest, a natural forest which is there, you put. Then after that, you go and look for the land use types. Some banana, banana crop plantation, you put. You go and look for a planted forest, you put. You go and look for the road, you put the local name and say maybe Kasokoso Chitintale Road. Then you go for a factory. If it is there, you put the name of the factory, the washing bay, you put the name of the washing bay, the residents, other residents, Namwandu Bisaso, guest house, you put. So local names are key on this question of field work. Then you put the key down there and you put at least any 3 features which you have been trying to show on the map for 1 mark. And that's how you draw this annotated sketch. Now, describe the impact of land use types on the physical environment around your school. When you are describing impacts are both positive and negative. Impact of land use on the physical environment. The physical environment here in geography is in 3-4 components. Number 1, the biosphere. Biosphere. That is plants and animals, the flora and fauna, the vegetation, the wildlife. That is biosphere. Then we go to the atmosphere, the blanket of air, where we have the different types of atmosphere, the stratosphere, but in other words, the air, the blanket of air, where we have pollution and what have you. That is atmosphere. Another part of physical environment is lithosphere, where we have the rocks, the land, the soils. They can also be tempered with. Another part of physical environment is hydrosphere, where we have the water, the lakes, the rivers, the swamps, the reservoirs, and many others. So here, connect the land use types. Tell us, for example, Stony Quarry, southwest of Mbuya Hill. Led to air pollution. Led to air pollution. That is, it is affecting the atmosphere. Led to air pollution, leading to what? Leading to healthy problems, healthy hazards, or leading to accumulation of CFCs, chlorofluorocarbons, that led to destruction of the ozone layer, leading to global warming. So on impacts, you can use the word lead. And the impacts, as I've said, are both positive and negative. When we look at a question like this one, shall put 60 marks, any 3 positive. Positive impacts are benefits. Enables people to acquire employment opportunities. enables people to get food, like agriculture, to get food, which improves on their diet and their standards of living. It has also led to development of towns, which towns provide better facilities, and such facilities improve the people's standards of living. That is what we call positive impacts. Negative impacts bring those impacts that affect the environment. We have pollution, that is air pollution. That is one point. Land pollution through poor garbage disposal, like plastics and polythene, which affect the fertility of the soil. We have water pollution, how the land use affect the hydrosphere, the water element. So water pollution, which lead to death of what? Death of aquatic life, such as fish, due to the emission of these chemicals. By which kind of economic activity or land use? That is industrialization. So you bring how these land uses have affected positively and negatively on the physical environment. I've told you physical environment, we have atmosphere, we have biosphere, we have lithosphere, we have hydrosphere. I gave you one point that affects atmosphere, that is air pollution. I've given you one point that affects the hydrosphere, that is water pollution. I've given one point that affects the lithosphere, that is land pollution. I've also given one point that affects the biosphere, that is plants and animals, and that point is deforestation, loss of vegetation, among even death can be an impact on the wildlife. What recommendation did you make? On your fieldwork study? Recommendations are just solutions that you gave to those people when you were in the field. That's what you say. I recommended them to construct more pit latrines to avoid poor disposal of human deposits, to solve the problem of poor sanitation. I recommended them to construct a police booth to curb crime in the area. I recommended them to pour water on the road in order to avoid dust. I recommended them to put road humps or signs to avoid accidents of children. So the recommendations, depending on the problems you think that are in the area of study, the way you recommend, it's what you tell us here. I recommended, I suggested that these people should do this in order to solve this problem. I also emphasize that tell us what that recommendation solves, the solution. Which problems does it encounter? So it will bring out your claim properly. Question 3, for any fieldwork you have ever carried out on a cash crop farm, you have to be specific. A cash crop farm, you have to tell us the name of that crop, the growth and development of Kasaku tea crop growing or Kasaku tea farm, the growth and development of Kasenyi tea plantation. Tea is the cash crop. Cotton is the cash crop. Are you getting what I'm saying? We have only 8 minutes. Rose. Are you getting what I'm saying? The name of the crop, and it should be a cash crop. What is a cash crop? A cash crop is that crop which is sold outside, meaning that we have examples like cotton is a cash crop, tea is a cash crop, coffee is a cash crop. What else? Is the sugar cane a cash crop?
Teacher,
Huh?
yes.
Okay, if it is a cash crop, you can also include it. So it has to be a cash crop. If somebody said the growth and development of Mr. Bisaso banana plantation, Mr. Bisaso banana plantation, is banana a cash crop? Of course, no. So if banana is not a cash crop, we shall cross the whole of this question. You will get 0, 0. As I was telling you that the question in A level that you can get completely 0 out of 25 is this one. A question on a specific topic of field work. Specific topic of field work. Cash crop. You say the growth and development of Mr. James's groundnut farm. You will get 0, 0 from the beginning up to the end. We don't want to know. We just wave. The student doesn't know what a cash crop means. So when you have to do such a question, you have to be very keen and you have to put your head high before you start answering that question. So a cash crop here, we want coffee, cotton, tea, sugarcane, those cash crops, where they get cash. Even tobacco is a cash crop. So those ones. Outline objectives we have seen. You just need to add that cash crop on each and every objective, say, to find out the location of Kasaku tea plantation. Tea plantation. You may use Kasaku tea farm. Okay? Tea farm. You may use a plantation. Plantation is a farm. Then you can come on a sketch map. Now, on this sketch map also, you can pass here the topic, you pass objective, and you fail on the sketch map. On the sketch map, in the title, you must indicate the name of that farm. And also, when you are drawing in that frame, after drawing, you have to first indicate where the farm is. We start by marking the farm and we look for other things that they have asked. Now, yeah, by the way, this is even a different question. This one says the layout of the farm. The layout of the farm, you just need to draw from the gate of the farm. You tell us what is inside the fence. What is inside the fence of the farm? Topic, no, not the topic, the gate of the farm, where there are the plantations. Then if the farm has a factory which process, you put the latrines, the managing director offices, then so you tell us what is in the farm. You have to be creative. Don't say that I have never gone there. You have to be just creativity can make you pass. Then we come to here. Explain how the following methods were applied during the data collection. During the data collection, interview the method, define the method. This is the method which involves a dialogue between the researcher and the respondent through asking oral questions to get immediate feedback. That is the definition. Interview, this is a method which involves asking questions by the researcher or the interviewer to the respondent or the interviewee, which involves asking oral questions. How did you apply this method? I asked oral questions to Mr. James Bisaso, a managing director of Kasaku Tea Estate. And he told us that, no, you tell us the question about the problems faced by the the workers. He told us that they face a problem of too much sunshine, snake bites, lack of headgears, lack of equipment, among others. If you say, I asked oral questions, tell us the person, the name. And it should be the son name, not James. Even dogs are called James. Just the son name. Mr. So and so. Tell us his position there. He's the managing director. He's one of the workers. He was a passersby. You tell us as you are reporting your data. Questionnaire. The method used in data collection, which involves drafting questions and send them to the respondent to get feedback through using platforms like what? SMS, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, among others. Then tell us how. I drafted questions. For example, use a dialogue format. What is the location of Kasakuti Estate? You first in dialogue form, you say managing director of Kasaku. Then you ask your question. What is the location of Kasakuti Estate? Then you say, here, you are the researcher. Say researcher, you, the researcher. Then you ask that question. Then you put the respondent. And then the respondent will also respond to you. The location is 5 kilometers off Jinja, Kampala Jinja Highway in Buyupwe district. At least give a dialogue of 3 statements. You and the researcher, then you and the respondent. You as the researcher and then the respondent in that dialogue format of a questionnaire. You put a questionnaire that has been brought back. Not the questionnaire which you are sending without feedback. You bring the end result after when they have returned. That's the dialogue that you should put in that questionnaire. Then pacing. Pacing, tell us when you were in that estate, you paced from the main road to the gate. And what did you find out? How many meters? Then lastly, what challenges did you encounter? We say the challenges here, you give a challenge and it's a limitation. I faced a challenge of a heavy downpour, which limited me from writing down the problems first at Kaseni Fish Learning. I faced a problem.